surely not like this. The end of an era. They said it was over. They said the dream died in Qatar. But time has a funny way of offering one last shot. In 2026, a 41-year-old god and a generation of golden assassins have one final mission. This isn't just a tournament. It's a hostage situation. And Portugal is coming for the gold. First, we need to address the elephant in the room, the number that critics have been obsessed with since Qatar. In football terms, 41 isn't just old, it's an artifact. Biology dictates that he should be retired on an island. Physics argues that the explosion in his legs should be gone. And they are right about one thing. If you are expecting the Cristiano of 2006, the step-over king, the Ferrari who wanted to touch the ball 100 times a game, then Portugal is already dead. But that is the mistake everyone makes. They are judging a ghost by the standards of a machine. Look at the evolution. 2 decades ago, he was the engine. He burned fuel to cover every blade of grass. But the 2026 version, he has traded volume for violence. He has stripped away the excess. He no longer hunts for the ball, he hunts for the space. He waits in the blind spots. He drifts into the shadows of the centre backs. He disappears from the game entirely, lulling the opposition into a false sense of safety. He forces them to forget he is even there. Critics look at the tracking data and scream, "He can't run for 90 minutes anymore." And they are right. He can't. But here is the terrifying truth. He doesn't need to run 90 minutes. He just needs 1 second. The 2026 Ronaldo isn't the engine. He is the sniper. But here is the brutal truth about snipers. They are helpless if no one feeds them the target. A gun without ammunition is just a paperweight. And for the last decade, that was Portugal's curse. They had the weapon, but they didn't have the supply line. In 2026, the supply line isn't just fixed, it's weaponized. It starts with the agent of chaos, Bruno Fernandes. In an era of football obsessed with safe possession and pass completion percentages, Bruno is a glitch in the system. He doesn't care about keeping the ball, he cares about hurting the opposition. He is the general who refuses to retreat. He will lose the ball 5 times trying to force a pass, just because he knows that on the 6th time, he puts the striker through on goal. He creates chances not by asking nicely, but by kicking down the door. But a team cannot run on chaos alone. If you have too much fire, you burn the house down. You need ice. You need Vitinha. If Bruno is the risk, Vitinha is the insurance. Watch him closely. He doesn't play football, he dictates time. In the suffocating pressure of a World Cup knockout game, when the lungs are burning and the crowd is screaming, Vitinha is the only heart rate that never spikes. He is the metronome. He takes a chaotic, bouncing ball and settles it into a rhythm. He tells the team when to breathe and when to suffocate the opponent. This is the genius of the 2026 midfield. It is a perfect chemical reaction. Bruno accelerates the game to break the defense. Vitinha slows it down to break their spirit. One creates the storm, the other navigates through it. And standing in the eye of that storm, waiting perfectly still, is the sniper. But there is one final variable, the one thing Portugal never had before, the thing that actually terrifies defenders more than Ronaldo. But a sniper and a general are not enough. You need fear. You need the kind of terrifying, raw athleticism that keeps opposition managers awake at 3 a.m. This is the nightmare scenario for any defense facing Portugal. To stop Ronaldo, you have to stay compact. You have to suffocate the middle. You have to build a cage around the penalty box. But the moment you narrow your shape to trap the king, you leave the kingdom undefended. You leave the flanks wide open for the X Factor. Rafael Leão. He is a walking contradiction. He moves with the weight of a heavyweight boxer, but the acceleration of a sprinter. Watch his face when he has the ball. He isn't grimacing. He isn't stressed. He's smiling. He destroys careers with a grin on his face. He treats the World Cup semi-final like a kickabout in the park, and he isn't alone. You have Nuno Mendes, a fullback who refuses to defend because he's too busy attacking. You have Pedro Neto ripping the other wing apart. They turn the pitch into a track meet. It is a simple, brutal equation. If you spread out to stop the speed, Bruno kills you through the middle. If you collapse inside to stop Ronaldo, Leão kills you from the outside. The opponent tries to create a cage for Cristiano. They double team him, they panic. But when they collapse on the legend, they leave the back door wide open for Leão. And Leão doesn't knock. He kicks the door off the hinges. But in the World Cup, flair is a luxury. Resilience is a requirement. You can have the sharpest spear in the world, but if your shield cracks, you die. For years, Portugal was fragile. They could score 3, but they would concede 4. Not anymore. Anchoring the chaos is the Minister of Defense, Rúben Dias. He is the anomaly, a man who celebrates a block like it's a goal. Watch him when the pressure rises. He doesn't panic, he gets angry. He doesn't just block shots, he absorbs them. He throws his body into the fire so the artists up front don't have to. Beside him, you have the modern evolution, Gonçalo Inácio. In the past, defenders just cleared the ball. Inácio uses the ball. He is the launch pad. He sees passes that midfielders miss. He turns defense into attack with a single, laser-guided ball, bypassing the entire opposition midfield in a heartbeat. But the wall doesn't start at the penalty box. It starts with the pit bull. João Neves. Don't let the size fool you. He is a terrier in a land of wolves. He has no right to win these duels. He is smaller, shorter, and younger than everyone else. But he wins the ball because he wants it more. He chases lost causes. He dives into boots. He is the engine that refuses to stall. With Dias commanding the line and Neves hunting in the midfield, they give the team the one thing Ronaldo needs most: security. They tell the strikers, go ahead, take the risk. If you miss, we will be here to clean up the mess. This isn't just a defense, it is an insurance policy against disaster. Now, look at the board, because having the best players doesn't mean anything if the puzzle pieces don't fit. And in 2022, they didn't fit. In Qatar, the strategy was hope. It was pass to Cristiano and pray. They stood still, watching him, waiting for a miracle that never came. The team was paralyzed by their own icon. But 2026 is different. The manager hasn't just built a squad, he has built a machine. The brilliance of this setup is that it weapon-sizes Ronaldo's gravity. Even at 41, when Cristiano stands in the box, 2 defenders must stand with him. They are terrified to leave him alone, and that is the trap. By overcommitting to the legend, the defense stretches. They leave the zone 14 wide open for Bruno. They leave the channels open for Leao. The system uses Ronaldo as the ultimate decoy. If you cover him, the others kill you. If you ignore him, he kills you. It is a lose-lose situation for the opponent. And this leads us to the most important shift in Portuguese football history. For 20 years, this nation made a mistake. They thought their job was to serve the king. They looked for him every time, forcing passes that weren't there, slowing the game down to find him. For 20 years, Portugal played for Cristiano. In 2026, they play with him. The difference is subtle, but it changes everything. The burden is no longer on one man's shoulders. The weight of the nation is shared, and that makes them dangerous.